Excuse me, we have the shape of a bug. It's falling out. My leg is falling out. Hey there lovely people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasha, and in today's video we are doing some fun creative activity. Today I am working on some volunteer work for my Master Gardener program. I am a certified Master Gardener here in Colorado, and we have to do a certain amount of volunteer hours every year to upstand our certifications. And sometimes that includes doing some like fun things that are a little outside of the scope but still relative to garden and architecture. I mean, not architecture, agriculture. So we have kind of this problem out west in Western United States that deal with this beetle that is living in trees and making them dead and then causing them to be more susceptible to wildfires. It's called the emerald ash borer, and my Master Gardener coordinator, one of the coordinators, asked if someone would make a papier-mâché model of this beetle so that he could use it for continued education out in the field when we go to like schools and libraries and things like that. It's just a really cool, fun way to like draw people in to our booth and talk to them about some of these issues that we're facing in our environment out here in Colorado specifically. So I'm really excited that I got to him first before anyone else got to claim this task. He had a list of some creative tasks that people could do for volunteer hours, including like making a bug themed costume, which I thought was also really cool, but I am not a costume maker. My husband is, but I'm not. So I was like, I feel like I can do, I'm a good painter, but I've never done papier-mâché, but I want to. It seems fun, it seems easy. I feel like I have done this before in grade school, like I know I have, but I couldn't tell you what I made or like when this actually was. So we're gonna say I've never done this before. We're just gonna say I've never done this before. I've been doing research and watching YouTube videos and reading blog posts about what the best materials are for papier-mâché. Should I use flour and water? Should I use glue and water? Should I use toilet paper? Should I use newsprint? Should I use, girl, I don't know. So we're gonna figure it out together. All right, so I am in my dining room, obviously. I know that this project is probably going to be messy, so I want to be able to work somewhere that's going to be easy to clean up. And so I have, for materials, I have cardboard. I feel like I can build the frame of the bug body using cardboard. And then I have toilet paper, like really thin one-ply toilet paper, because I think I want to play around with making some papier-mâché clay. We'll see what that does. I got a bunch of Elmers glue. I went to the dollar store and got a handful of those. And then I have a big box of brown paper to use for the actual papier-mâché part. Anything else? Other things that I feel like I'm gonna end up grabbing at some point, maybe some wire, some thin wire for the little leggies. And the antenna, maybe. I feel like that makes sense. I think I have some of that in the garage. And obviously I'm gonna be using acrylic paint to paint on top, like paint the design on. I think I want some glitter, bro, because this bug is really sparkly. Let me show you what the bug looks like. I didn't show you, here it is. It's really sparkly and it's green, kind of iridescent. I kind of wanna play up to that. So I think I may need some glitter, and I think that's it. I may be missing one item, but for now, oh yeah, because I want to make the wings move, I think. I'm not really sure, I'm still thinking about that, but I may need some fasteners. So yeah, we're ready. We're ready to papier-mâché. Like, I need to go get a big bowl. I need to go get a big old bowl and get started. I'm really nervous about this because, again, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before, and I want it to look good. This part of working with the cardboard to create a frame for my bug really reminded me of my freshman year of art school, which was called Art Foundation. They made you take all of these different disciplines within art, and sculpture was one of them. And that class, there was a part where we were focusing solely on cardboard and building things with cardboard, and we learned how to like round things and make things structural, and we just got to play like that. Class was so full of imagination, and that's what this whole process kind of reminds me of. There was a lot of problem solving and a little bit of engineering and a whole lot of going with the flow. So I had my trusty hot glue gun and I got to work. All right, this is where I am so far with the body of my bug. Oh, you can't see my face. Sorry. This is where I am with the body of my bug. And I've created like somewhat of a frame that I'm going to now take brown paper and stuff on the inside and use masking tape to kind of create a flat-ish surface and continue to like shape it with the paper and the masking tape. That looks all right. Lighting makes my hair look crazy. Have y'all watched that documentary, Unknown Number on Netflix? I have not, but I am watching a breakdown of the whole case on Rotten Mangoes on YouTube. If you know, you know. Rotten Mangoes is that blog, okay? This girl is so good at storytelling. She's so good at being unbiased. She's so good at digging up every single crevice of detail. She has details on this case that was not even in the documentary, okay? Like, come on. This story is absolutely crazy. Like, my skin is crawling at how so crazy this story is. But anyway, this is my dog. So far, dropping stuff. It is obviously a new day. I don't know if you can tell that, but I had started the frame of it yesterday, and then I had some house guests that, oh, that's outside. Lord, I was like, what does that sound? Then I had some house guests come yesterday afternoon, so I got distracted and couldn't work on it, and they just left this morning, so I've been working on it again. I've attached my wings. I want the body, like, so the beetle is like the sparkly green color on the outside, but the thorax here underneath the wings is like this beautiful reddish sunset fuchsia color. And so I want to be able to show that because I think it adds more visual interest and it helps identify the bug even more. So I have it here with the wings just slightly open so that we can see this underside. And I think that that looks really good. And I even have an idea to put the underwing coming out under here too. We'll see if I can get to that, but that could be cool. I think this looks so awesome and it's big. Like, look at how big that is compared to my face. Anyway, I want to try and add some legs, okay? This guy has 6 legs and I have this wire here that I think I could build the structure of the leg with the wire and then wrap that wire around with paper and then wrap that paper around with masking tape. That's the vision. Let's see if we can bring it to life.
That gives me a little more insight on why you did it. But you know, it doesn't excuse what you did, and you know, because you know that, because you just told me that. Basically saying, like, I kind of get it, but not really. Even after reading your psyche eval, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'm so ready to take a break. I'm getting a little drained. I'm not gonna lie. I lost the leg. Did I lose a leg? Oh, no, I haven't wrapped it yet. Okay, I'm on my last set of legs for the front. That's gonna go right here like this. Look at how adorable this is. I just had a thought in my head as I'm like working away on this. I'm like, what if this doesn't work? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the finished object is gonna look like. That's not my normal creative process. I normally can see what the finish is gonna be. I don't know what the finish is gonna look like. I don't know. I'm putting it in God's hands. So I'm just like, yeah, I had the thought like, literally, what if I spend all this time working on this and it doesn't work and it comes out bad? I'm gonna be so annoyed, I'm not gonna lie, because there are other things I could be doing with my time right now. But I do love an opportunity to get some of my volunteer hours done in a different way. So we just gonna keep rolling with it. Man, I just hope that it works and it's all worth it. Oh God, my leg is falling out. I definitely should have made the wire that I stabbed into the body longer. I really played myself. Okay, look at my bar. I know you fucking lying. Look how cool this looks. I have something helping the back of the butt hold up for now because the butt does drop down. But I think if it doesn't stand well on its own once it's like nice and paper mache'd, I will end up putting a wire with like a little stand on it up its butt so that it'll hold the butt up in an inconspicuous way. That's gonna be my down the line solution for that. But excuse me, we have the shape of a bug. I'm so impressed with this. Hello, I'm so impressed with this. But I am mentally tired from doing this, so I'm gonna take a lunch break. It's like 3 p.m. I need to eat some food, re-energize myself, and then we're going to paper mache this today. And I'm saying this to myself, don't you get bored and go do something else, Tasha. Don't do it. We need to paper mache this today so that it can dry overnight. That is the goal. It has to dry overnight today if I want to paint it tomorrow. If I want to finish this project. Come on, girl. Anyone else have to give themselves motivational speeches? That's a bug. Yo! Okay. I have paper on my bug. Half of the bottom and these 3 legs have been mache'd. Hello! That is exciting. And my hands have a little bit of glue on them. I'm using a glue and water combo instead of the flour and water combo. And it is working really well. I'm using a brush to put the mixture on top of the paper and lay it down really nicely. And that is working really well. A lot of people I've seen folks like just use their hands, and they dip their paper into the mixture and they smooth it on there with their hands. I don't want to get my hands all messy. I mean, my fingers are already getting a little bit of glue on them, but they're not like drenched. I can still use my hands. And it's not a sensory nightmare. Oh my gosh, this leg is falling out. Oh my gosh, let me lock in. This leg is falling out. I need to turn this. I figured it'd be easier to do the bottom first and then do the top. And we'll see if that we'll see if that thought process actually works out in my favor. I'm really enjoying myself. After I ate lunch, I definitely got sleepy, naturally. I had tacos and then I ate a yogurt bowl for dessert because I wanted something sweet, but I'm trying to be good, so I had a little yogurt bowl. Oh my god, this freaking leg. I need this leg to attach properly before I put the paper mache on. And now all of a sudden, it wants to be falling off all over the place. Stay your ass on there. Okay. But yeah, I definitely felt tired and I was just like, I'd love to lay down and nap. But instead, I took like 15 minutes to just like scroll on TikTok for a sec. And then I made myself get up and lock in. And I'm glad I did, because this is actually not hard. Or as messy as I thought it was going to be. The sun is definitely going down earlier, which is making me a little sad. Has anyone else noticed that? That like early sunset is starting to creep in on us. The dark times are coming. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. These legs are a pain to mache. Have to use so many, is that the phrase? To mache? I have to use so many little pieces, especially going around, oh my god, the joint. Okay. I need you to keep your ass still, please. But I just, you know, take my time and make sure that I'm getting nice flat coverage. And I think it's working out. I'm gonna have to rip up some more paper soon. Good thing I have a huge box because I hoard shipping materials. I have so much brown paper just from hoarding shipping materials. At first I was nervous, like, oh no, I don't have newspaper. Apparently brown paper works exactly the same. And I feel like that is so much more readily available than newspaper is nowadays, because everyone gets packages. Not everyone reads newspapers. I Could be totally wrong though. Maybe everyone reads newspapers but me.
Blocks. Slughorn strode over to a corner cupboard, and after a moment's foraging, emerged with two very battered-looking copies of Advanced Potion Making by Libacious Borage, which he
All right, the sun is definitely setting. The light is getting really dark in here. I'm gonna have to turn a light on soon. But I have finished the entire underside of the bug and the legs. I've done like all 6 legs. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit so it's not tacky to the touch before I flip it over and do the top side. I'm gonna take a little break because my back is hurting. But I am gonna keep going and I'm gonna finish this tonight. I am super determined. Sorry, it looks crazy in here. I need to turn a light on.
The trials took most of the morning. Half of Gryffindor House seemed to have turned up, from first years who were nervously clutching a selection of the dreadful old school brooms, to 7th years who towered over the rest, looking...
Good morning. I am so excited. It's not even 8 a.m. My husband is still asleep somewhere. Okay, but go, y'all. It's hard. Like, it's hard. I want to remove the balls of paper I put under the wing so that they would dry straight and upward instead of drying, because when it got wet they started to curve a bit. Okay. Wow, look at that. Wow. Now, of course, a little bit of paper has stuck to the model, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, hello. Let's see if it'll stand up on its own. Hello. All right, I do have a candle under the face. Boogie bug. That is crazy. Okay. I'm watching TikTok. Let's move them over here. Alright, so my next step, this looks kind of spooky, I'm not gonna lie. From this angle, it's giving something off Stranger Things. But for my next step, I want to add eyes to the front, and I'd like to try and add the eyes using papier-mâché clay. So we're gonna play with that this morning. And then I also need to add antennas. Their antennas come out and like wrap this way, so I'm definitely gonna use wire for that. And maybe also the clay around the wire, the clay around the wire. I went and I got really cheap toilet paper from the dollar store, like really cheap 1-ply, and I really don't know how much it's gonna take. I definitely made more of the papier-mâché paste than I needed yesterday, and I just like saran wrapped it in here. If you're curious, I used 3 containers of Elmer's glue to 2 containers like just these little containers, is 4 ounces of water. So that's 12 ounces of glue to 8 ounces of water. And then I mixed it up. That's what I used. I don't need a ton of the clay because I'm just doing these little eyeballs and the antenna. Well, these big eyeballs and the antenna. So I think I'm gonna go get another paint tray to separate out some of this paste and do it that way. All right, so I have a bunch of, what's going on with my posture? Why am I like this? I have a bunch of toilet paper bits in here. I literally watched one video about this like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just going with my spirit, y'all. We just gonna go with the spirit. I don't know the ratio, so I'm gonna do a little bit and then mix it up. Where's my mixing stick? I really thought that was a lot of toilet paper. That balled up into nothing. Oh my god. I really thought I was doing something. I got one handful. That may be enough for one eyeball. All right, I've made more. I'm scared to touch it, honestly. Okay, this is the consistency. It's like soft but sticky. Y'all, I don't know. Let me get my bug turned around. I'm gonna draw out where the eyeballs gonna go. She just stands on her own now. Love you. We're gonna draw out where the eyeballs are gonna go so that I'm not just slapping this on here any kind of way. Okay, I've done one antenna and I think it looks all right. It's not as smooth as I want it to be because it's really hard to smooth it without like wiping it off of the wire. This is definitely the most difficult part that I have had to face. I did half of the second antenna and then took it off. And now I'm retrying it because it was going on too thick and it looked way thicker than the first one. And it was also just really hard to use. Like it was just getting really hard to work with. And I think it's because my material was starting to dry out. So it wasn't as malleable. So I wiped all of it off, put it back in the bucket, and I've added more of the glue solution. And I'm hoping that that is going to make it a little easier, because the first one was like, yeah, it was a little finicky, but it wasn't impossible. And this second antenna is freaking feeling impossible. And that is irking me because this has been going so well. And now I'm annoyed. Starting over! I just crashed out and ripped the antennas out. I ripped the antennas out. I ripped the fucking antennas out. No, this is actually angering me to the point of violence. I'm not even kidding. That just actually pissed me off because I just wasted 2 hours, close to 2 hours, working on those antennas just to rip them the fuck out. Let me just keep going because the issue is that this goddamn paste started to dry out. I swear that's the issue. But it's also too heavy. For as much as I was caking on there, it's too heavy. Stop looking at my butt. I know I look crazy. Just be quiet. Jay gave me these pipe cleaners. Maybe the pipe cleaners will do what I want it to do. Maybe the pipe cleaners don't get paper mache at all. Maybe the pipe cleaners, maybe it gets a little bit of paper mache. Let's see if I can stab this in my hole. Okay, okay. That stays up. And maybe I only use the paper mache clay to create like, wait, let me see. Maybe I only use the paper mache clay to kind of give it a little bit of detail, because the antenna do have these kind of segments to them. Maybe I use the paper mache to give that oh my gosh, give that illusion. And then I paint the whole thing the color I want it to be, so it's not going to be orange. Why? Okay, is this tied into it? Okay. Like, yo. Okay. All right, husband has come in with the best advice. Because the way I was just, I don't know if I'll include that in the video. I was definitely crashing out. Okay. This is where we're at. And I thought I wanted to add more paper mache going up here to get kind of more of that segmented look, but the way this is making me so annoyed, I don't want to do that. And because the paper mache actually does not stick very well to the fuzzy stuff, so I'm hoping that this will dry and hold it up the way I want it held, and we'll be okay. Oh, how is there still a hole in the freaking mouth? You guys, this little detail part was so hard. I'm so over it. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna let this dry. We're gonna take a break for a few hours and come back to this to paint it. Okay, so I have the bug sitting outside because I want this clay to dry. It is bigger than Lilo. All right, it has been hours. I think 4 hours to be exact, because it's like 5 p.m. now. And the eyes, like the clay is, I would say, maybe 60% set. It's hard on the outside, if you can hear that. It's no longer sticky. But it does still give under my finger if I press, so I can tell the very inside is still drying. But I am going to start painting anyway, because there's no time like the present. And I'm just gonna save the eyes for last. And hopefully it is dry enough by the time I get to that. I'm gonna work on painting while also drying the eyes with my little blow dryer setup. I'm just gonna double team because we need her to dry. I don't got forever to be doing this. I want to finish this today. I don't have glitter though. I don't have glitter. And I did say I wanted to use glitter. But maybe I shouldn't use glitter because it's a pain and like ends up everywhere. It would suck if like forever glitter was like falling off of this thing. But I'm gonna seal it. Okay. I don't know. Let me think about that. I found glitter in my studio. I think we're gonna use it. I am going to take the bug outside and give it a prime with this black prime and paint. Because this is what I have. We are back inside. Our beetle has a nice little base coat on it. I went and got my paints, and we don't need these anymore. And I am actually so excited to do this. Sometimes I dread, and I say that because sometimes I dread the painting stage because I don't want to mess it up. Even at this big age, at how long I've been doing art, I still have that feeling like, if I add color, am I going to ruin this? But fingers crossed, that's not going to be the case. I have brushes of all sizes, and I also grabbed a little sponge thing because maybe I want to play, you want to focus? Maybe I want to play with some texture. Sponge thing. I'm gonna definitely have to mix some colors. Oh yeah, let me go grab a palette and a cup of water, and I'm going to lock in. done the paint job. I do think I'm done the paint job. I don't want to go too crazy. Like, a girl can only do but so much, you know? I do want to add the glitter though. So I think I'm gonna use, I think I want to use a glossy paint medium to paint over the wings and add the glitter. I'm gonna try and I would like to go for like 50% coverage. I don't want it to be crazy glittered. So let's see. And like the gel medium is gonna be very glossy, which I also love. And if I love it on the wings, I may do a little bit on the rest of the body just to give it that sparkle, you know? Like, and I honestly think the gloss gel medium would actually look really nice over the whole bug, because the bug is kind of shiny and sparkly a little bit. So yeah, this looks awesome. I worked a barista shift this morning at my friend's bakery. I obviously didn't finish it last night. So when I got back today, I ate my lunch and I got right to painting because this needs to be done. Okay, so I'm about to whip out my blow dryer to dry this green paint, this light green paint, and then put the medium on.
And then over here we have the pie garland with the regular wreath garland. And they're gonna be like our main, like our showstoppers. What would you call it? The eye catchers. And we're gonna put them in these little baskets that I just had laying around. Little boop.
Okay, she's done. I think it looks really cute. If I had to rate it, I would give it like a 6 out of 10 because it's not perfect. Like it's my very first time doing something like this. I am really proud of myself, but yeah, it's not perfect. There's a lot of room for improvement and a lot of room for like technique changes, and yeah, but I had fun. I'm glad that I accepted this assignment because I learned a new skill. I learned a new craft, and it's actually really fun. Building things is something I already like to do, and I feel like this is kind of very similar to building things. So yeah, thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you enjoy crafts, art, travel, knitting, okay, gardening, living a creative life, that type of stuff. And I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know what you think about this paper mache in the comments. Bye.